Good morning, students. In today's class, we will continue our topic, that is Boyle's law. In previous class, we have seen that relation between pressure and volume at constant temperature and number of moles is pressure is inversely proportional to volume, or we can say it as pressure is directly proportional to 1 by V. From that we wrote PV is equal to constant, and finally we got one formula, that is P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2. This is the useful formula in doing the problems. Any sort of Boyle's law related to that problems are there, they will give in this way. Initial pressure, final pressure they will give, initial volume also they will give, final volume we have to find. Like that, any one unknown value they will give, but we have to find one unknown value they will not give, remaining 3 they will give. By using that remaining 3 values, we can find the unknown value. I hope you are clear about this one. Now, after completion of this, we have to see some graphs present in Boyle's law. Those graphs are drawn at constant temperature. Graphs which are drawn at constant temperature. Are called isotherms. So now we are going to draw the graphs in Boyle's law which is at constant temperature. So our graphs are nothing but isotherms. Iso means same, terms temperature. Term is the term related to temperature. Okay, so those graphs are called isotherms. Let us see how we are going to draw the graphs, On y-axis, let us consider pressure P. On y-axis, let us consider volume V. For this P and V, if you draw the graph, we will get hyperbola. Like this. Let us see, this is at high volume. At high volume, pressure is less. This is at high volume, pressure is less. When volume is getting decreased, pressure is getting increased. This is at high volume. At high volume, pressure, this is the value of pressure, because this point is representing pressure. Okay, low pressure. When volume is getting decreased along y-axis, along x-axis, in this direction volume decreases. In this direction volume increases. In this direction volume decreases. At the time, what happened to pressure? Pressure increases, and we will get a curve that is called hyperbola. Okay, this is a temperature, constant temperature T1. If you draw another graph at another temperature T2, you will get same hyperbola but at different position. Next, like this at different temperature. You can ask me a doubt at the time of starting. We are drawing these graphs at constant temperature, sir. Again you told T1, T2, T3, what is this one? Please observe carefully. As long as this experiment is going on, pressure versus volume graph at this curve, temperature T1 is constant only. For example, 3 rooms are there. In room 1, scientist 1 is doing experiment by considering pressure and volume on y-axis, by considering his temperature 293 Kelvin, that is constant. So at this 293 Kelvin, what about this graph? Scientist 1 he will get. Scientist 2, he is also doing experiment between pressure and volume only, but at different temperature 303 Kelvin. That is not meaning temperature is changed. As long as this experiment is going on for scientist 1, temperature is maintained at 293 Kelvin. As long as this temperature is maintained for some scientist 2, sorry, graph is considering for scientist 2, temperature is maintained at 303 Kelvin. Like that, one experiment P and V variables at temperature constant. Another experiment P and V are variables at another temperature constant, that is 303. Like that, they have drawn at different temperatures. I hope you understood, man. This is the graph between pressure and volume. We will get hyperbolas at different temperatures. Now, the relation between T1, T2 and T3 is T3 is greater than T2, T2 is greater than T1. T3 is high temperature when compared to T2. T2 is high temperature when compared to T1. First graph. These are all called isotherms only. This is one isotherm, this is one isotherm, this is one isotherm. Pressure versus volume. Pressure on y-axis, volume on x-axis. Is it okay? Shall we go to another graph? I hope you are clear. Let us see next graph, ma. This time we are going to draw the graph between pressure and 1 by V. Observe, pressure is directly proportional to 1 by V. Pressure is equal to K into 1 by V. This is in the form of Y equal to mx. On y-axis we have considered P. On y-axis we have considered P. On x-axis we have considered volume 1 by V. Not V, ma, 1 by V. M is nothing but constant, slope. Y equal to mx is the straight line passing through origin. Y equal to mx in the form. It is the straight line passing through origin. This is at temperature T1, this is at temperature T2, this is at temperature T3. This is the isotherm at temperature T1. This is the isotherm at temperature T2, like that. P versus 1 by V, we will get graphs in this way. Now, the relation between T1, T2 and T3. T1 is greater than T2, T2 is greater than T3. This is one more graph. And one more thing is PV is equal to constant also we got from this Boyle's law only. PV is equal to constant is also the relation we got from Boyle's law. PV is equal to K. Okay, now let us see. For this we can draw the graph, ma. On y-axis PV, on x-axis P. We will get a straight line parallel to x-axis. Means PV is equal to constant. Multiplication of P and V is nothing but constant. It won't change the value. Even though P is getting increased, PV value will not be changed, because when P is increased, volume is decreased, then their multiplication will maintain a constant value. Not only this one, ma, even we can consider another graph, PV versus V. That also we will get straight line only parallel to x-axis. Is it okay? Why we got this parallel to x-axis? See, even though volume is getting changed, PV value will not be changed, meaning PV is equal to constant. These are the graphs which we have studied under the heading isotherms. Now once I will show that one. This is first we have drawn between pressure and volume directly, P and V. Graphs which are drawn at constant temperature are called isotherms. Okay, now under these isotherms we have seen all these things. This is the graph drawn between pressure and volume. This is the graph drawn between pressure and 1 by V. It is in the form of y equal to mx. Y equal to mx form will be a straight line passing through origin. PV is equal to constant, already we got. Then PV we can draw versus P or versus V also we can draw. Anyways, we will get straight line because PV value is constant. Even though pressure is changed or volume is changed, PV value is not going to be affected. This is about isotherms, and this is the completion of Boyle's law. But under Boyle's law, one more small thing is there, that is relation with density. Let us see what about the relation with density. We got PV is equal to constant. Correct? Now we know density formula. Density is equal to mass by volume. In a container, we have taken fixed amount of gas. That means mass is constant. Not only that one, as Boyle's law is under investigation, we said that temperature and amount of gas both are same only, constant. Not same, constant. That means mass is constant. Density is equal to mass by volume. Mass is constant. Then density is directly proportional to 1 by V. Density is directly proportional to 1 by V. This implies volume is directly proportional to 1 by D. Volume is directly proportional to 1 by D. I hope you are clear, This volume I brought this side, density I have sent that side. Volume is directly proportional to 1 by D. Then what is the relation between volume and density? Volume is inversely proportional to density. So from PV is equal to constant, we can write instead of V, 1 by D we can write. P into 1 by D is equal to constant. P into 1 by D is equal to constant. Then P is equal to constant K into D. This is called direct relation. That means P is directly proportional to density. P is directly proportional to density. Then please observe this formula. When P is directly proportional to density, we can write P1 by D1 is equal to P2 by D2, because we can write this one as P by D is equal to constant. I am bringing this D down, it will be coming to denominator. Then P by D is equal to constant. When P by D is equal to constant, P1 by D1 is equal to P2 by D2. P1 by D1 is equal to P2 by D2. This is one more formula useful, that is the relation between density and pressure. Did you understand? I hope you understood, This is about completion of Boyle's law. Next we have to go through Charles' law. Before going to the Charles' law, till now what is the concept we have discussed? We have started with P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2 formula. After that, graphs which are drawn at constant temperature we have seen, which are called as isotherms. Those isotherms we have seen at different pressure versus volume or pressure versus 1 by V. or PV versus P, like that we have seen. Even PV versus V also we have seen. Okay, after that, what is about density relation with pressure? P is directly proportional to D. When pressure increases, density also increases. According to that, we got the relation P1 by V1, P1 by D1 is equal to P2 by D2. All these formula you have to make one list, and you have to be remembering all this formula to do the problems well. Okay, ma? This is about Boyle's law completion. Next, our next law is Charles' law. We will go to that one. Till now we have completed Boyle's law. Now we will go to our second law, that is Charles' law. What are the four measurable properties of gas? Pressure, volume, temperature, and amount of gas, that is number of moles. Now Charles' law determines the relation between volume and temperature at constant pressure and amount of gas. Amount of gas and pressure will be constant, ma. Now we are going to determine the relation between volume and temperature. To understand the relation between volume and temperature, let us see one experiment, small experiment. Let us take one container which is filled with some gas, kept with one balloon, empty balloon, ma, at normal temperature 25 degrees centigrade. This is the normal container which was taken with some gas at temperature 25 degrees centigrade. Same container, I am going to keep it in one hot water bath which contains temperature of 60 degrees centigrade. From 25 to 60, what happened to temperature? Temperature is increased. Is it okay? Now, this balloon, empty balloon is there previously. That balloon is getting bulged. It is blown. What is the meaning of this one? Previously, this is the volume of the container. Volume of the container is nothing but volume of the gas. So this is the volume of the gas. It is empty balloon. Because of increase in temperature 25 to 60 degrees centigrade, what happened to gas volume? Now the gas volume is balloon volume plus container volume fully, because in balloon also this gas is present. Because of increase in temperature, kinetic energy of the molecules increase and they will enter into the balloon, and they will enter into the balloon. Because of that, what happened to balloon? Balloon is getting blown. Now the volume of the gas is container plus balloon volume. Previously only container. Now the volume of the gas is container plus balloon. Means what happened to volume of the gas? It is increased. By the increase in temperature, what happened to volume of the gas? Increases. Then that relation is called direct relation. So I am going to write that relation as V is directly proportional to capital T. Please observe this one here. V is directly proportional to absolute temperature I am taking here. It is also directly proportional to degree centigrade, but degree centigrade means we will get another relation. That one also I will draw. Before that, first the relation between volume and temperature is V is directly proportional to capital T. V is equal to K into capital T. V by T is equal to constant. This implies V1 by T1 is equal to V2 by T2. This is the useful formula to do the problems related to Charles' law. What is the relation between volume and temperature? Volume is directly proportional to temperature at constant pressure and amount of gas. Pressure and amount of gas must be constant. Here, number of molecules of gas, if you take 100, in this container and balloon also, total number of molecules will be 100 only. There is no change in volume. There is no change in number of molecules because we did not add from outside. In this container, if you have 100 molecules, in this container plus gas balloon, total number of molecules also 100 only. We did not add any one molecule from outside. But because of increase in temperature, some molecules which are present in this in this container, they will go into the balloon also. That's why only its volume is getting increased. Gases can be expanded easily and compressed easily. Like this we can say. They can be expanded into how much volume also, or they can be compressed into very small volume also, because intermolecular forces are very weak in gases. Okay, ma? Now once again see this relation between volume and temperature. V is equal to K into T. V by T is equal to K. V1 by T1 is equal to V2 by T2. This is the relation between volume and temperature, and this is the formula which is useful to do the problems. Next, let us draw the graphs for this one. Okay, these two, while we are deriving the relation between volume and temperature, which one is constant? Pressure is constant. So the graphs which are drawn at constant pressure is called isobar. The graphs which are drawn at constant pressure are called isobars. At the time of this Charles' law, pressure is getting constant now. That's why these graphs are called isobars. Volume is directly proportional to temperature. Volume is equal to K into temperature. This is in the form of Y equal to mx. On y-axis we are going to take volume. On x-axis we are going to take temperature. Y equal to mx form, it is a straight line passing through origin at constant pressure. As long as this curve is studied, pressure is constant at P1. Another curve also we can draw, P2. Another curve also we can draw, P3. The relation between P1, P2, P3 is P1 is less than, P2 is less than P3. P1 is less than, P2 is less than P3. Is it okay, ma? Now, what about normal degree centigrade temperature? Let us see. V is equal to K into capital T. V is equal to K into capital T is nothing but 273 plus small t. Relation between capital T and small t. Capital T is equal to small t plus 273. Capital T is equal to small t plus 273. So substitute this one. Substitute this one in capital T. You will get K into small t plus 273. This implies V is equal to K into small t plus 273 into K. This is in the form of Y equal to mx plus c. Observe carefully, 273 is constant, k is also constant. Multiplication of these two, you will get another constant. K is the slope. In presence of m, it is present. On x-axis, we are going to take small t. On y-axis, we are going to take capital V, volume. Now, we are going to draw the graph between volume and small t. Previous one, we have drawn the graph between volume and capital T. Now, we are going to draw the graph between volume and small t. Let us see. Volume on y-axis, small t on x-axis. This is the graph y equal to mx plus c. It is in the form of y equal to mx plus c, which is a straight line not passing through origin. That's why the graph will be shown as like this. Straight line not passing through origin. If you extrapolate this graph, it will touch the x-axis at minus 273. This is 0. At minus 273, it is going to touch the x-axis. That means this line is not passing through origin. I hope you are clear, ma. Till now, what we have studied, observe carefully. Observe this graph carefully. That is the difference between volume and small t, volume and capital T. See, volume and capital T, directly we are getting y equal to mx, straight line passing through origin. This one also, but this is a straight line not passing through origin. It will meet the x-axis at minus 273. Okay, you can ask me, sir, like this we can draw graphs from here also. You can draw definitely like this we can draw. Okay, man. This is about the relation between volume and capital T as well as volume and small t. Now, once again I am going to write this relation. V is equal to K into small t plus 273 V by small t plus 273 is equal to constant. This implies V1 by T1 plus 273 is equal to V2 by T2 plus 273. This is one more formula. V1 by T1 plus 273, V2 by T2 plus 273. This is about relation between volume and small t. Is it clear, ma? Next we can go through one more point under Charles' law, that is, for every 1 degree C rise in temperature, for every 1 degree C rise in temperature, volume is increased with 1 by 273 times of initial volume. By writing the formula, you will be clear, ma? No problem. First, observe the sentence correctly. For every 1 degree C rise in temperature, volume is increased with 1 by 273 time of its initial volume. Means 1 by 273 time of its initial volume, how much it is there, that much volume will be increased for every 1 degree C rise in temperature. Already we know that by the increase in temperature, volume also will be increased. That one only till now we have discussed. That is the relation between volume and temperature for Charles' law. Is it correct? That also, how much volume is going to be increased? 1 by 273 time of its initial volume will be increased. Now, by considering the values, we will see. Observe carefully. Before that, this total thing, just note down carefully. Next ma, let V naught is the volume at temperature 0 degrees centigrade. I am taking in degree centigrade only. Let V naught be the volume at temperature 0 degrees centigrade. Let V naught be the volume at temperature 0 degrees centigrade. V1 is the volume at temperature 1 degree centigrade. From 0 to 1 degree centigrade, how much increase in temperature? 1 degree is raised. Is it okay? Then volume V1 is equal to V0 plus initial volume is there na? Excluding that, some more volume is getting increased. V0 plus 1 by 273 of V0. V1 is equal to V0 plus 1 by 273 of V0. Observe carefully. How much volume is increased? Final volume is V1 only na? From initial volume, how much volume is getting increased? Initial volume plus 1 by 273 of initial volume. For every 1 degree C rise in temperature. When temperature is raised with 1 degree centigrade, volume will be increased by 1 by 273 of its initial volume. What is the initial volume? V0 plus 1 by 273 of initial volume. For example, let us consider initial volume is 1 liter. Otherwise, we will take one thing, 273 liters at temperature 25 degrees centigrade. Now, I am increasing the temperature to 26 degrees centigrade. 26 degrees centigrade. 1 degree is raised. Then what about this volume? This is V1. This is V0. Then V1 is equal to V0 plus 1 by 273 of V0. What is the V0? 273 plus 1 by 273 of 273. 273 to 273 got cancelled, it will be remain as 1. So the volume will become 274 liters. So final volume is 274 liters. Initial volume is 273 liters at T is equal to 25 degrees centigrade. Final volume is 274 liters at T is equal to 26 degrees centigrade. This is for example only I told. Like this calculations will be different. I hope you are clear. Now let us go to the point here. V1 is equal to V0 into 1 by 270, 1 plus 1 by 273. I took V0 common. It will become 1 plus 1 by 273. Okay. This is for V1. Next, V2. V0 into 1 plus 2 by 73. 2 by 273. I increased from 0 to 2 degrees centigrade. Then here you will get 2 by 273. V3 is equal to V0 into 1 plus 3 by 273. V4 is equal to V0 into 1 by 4 by 273. Like that, Vt is equal to V naught into Vt is equal to V naught into 1 plus 2 T by 273. How much we are going to increase the temperature, that much I am going to write here as T. For example, temperature T is equal to 0 degree centigrade. At that time volume is V naught. Temperature T is equal to 10 degree centigrade. What is the volume? V. That is the question mark. Then volume V is equal to V naught plus V naught into 10 by 273. Here 10 is there, na? That 10 simply we can write it as 10 by 273. Let us take V naught common. 1 plus 10 by 273. This is about final volume V. Like that we are going to calculate any sort of volume. For every 1 degree C rise in temperature, it will be increased by 1 by 273. Like that for 2 degrees C rise in temperature, it will be increased by 2 by 273. For every 3 degrees rise in temperature, it will be increased by 3 by 273. For every T degree C rise in temperature, the volume is increased by T by 273. Okay, na? This is about relation between volume and temperature. Charles' law is completed. Next we can go through Gay-Lussac's law. Shall we go through, ma? I hope you are clear. For every 1 degree C rise in temperature, volume is increased by 1 by 273 time of its initial volume. This one observe carefully and remember carefully. This one fully. Okay, now let us see what about Gay-Lussac's law. Gay-Lussac's law is the relation between pressure and temperature at constant volume and amount of gas. It is the relation between pressure and temperature at constant volume and amount of gas. Now, same relation like Charles' law, it is P is directly proportional to temperature. P is directly proportional to temperature. For example, let us take previous example only, but without balloon. I have closed with solid mouth here. In this, we have taken a gas at temperature 25 degrees centigrade. Here, volume and N will be constants, na? That's why I am not allowing gas to expand. So it should be volume same only. The same container I kept in a hot vessel or hot water. And the temperature is raised up to 60 degrees centigrade. You can understand easily, this is the gas at pressure P1 and temperature T1. When the temperature is increased from 25 to 60 degrees centigrade, when the temperature is increased from 25 to 60 degrees centigrade, the volume is not going to be affected. Observe, I closed this mouth, volume is not going to be affected. Then velocity of the molecules inside, they will be increased and they are going to hit the walls of the container very strongly with very high force, because we are not giving chance to escape for the gas. That's why inside the container they are going to apply more force. Automatically what happened to pressure? Pressure increases. Like that, this same vessel made with glass, if you keep it at 1000 degrees centigrade, the gas will be expanded in a way that there is no chance to expand or to come out, the glass will be blown out. Like the chances are also there, but that condition is not correct because their volume is going to be affected. Here we have to maintain the volume constant, then only Gay-Lussac's law is valid. Volume and number of moles must be constant. That means this gas number of moles we are not getting added from outside, or not we are not deleting also, we are not removing. Same amount of gas we are not giving chance to escape outside also, then inside pressure is going to be increased. Then what is the relation between pressure and temperature? When temperature is increased, pressure of the gas also increases. Then the relation is P is directly proportional to T. When P is directly proportional to T, P is equal to K into T. P by T is equal to constant. P1 by T1. P by T is equal to constant. P1 by T1 is equal to P2 by T2. This is the formula useful to do the problems related to pressure and temperature. Is it okay? Now, just observe carefully. Charles' law formula is V1 by T1 is equal to V2 by T2. Gay-Lussac's law formula is P1 by T1 is equal to P2 by T2. These two formulas are similar alike. That's why what are the graphs drawn for Charles' law? Like that only we will get for Gay-Lussac's law also. Those are called isochores. The graphs which are drawn at constant volume are called isochores. The graphs which are drawn at constant volume are called isochores. Now the relation between the graph between pressure and temperature. Pressure is on y-axis, temperature is on x-axis, straight line passing through origin. At constant volume V1, V2, V3. V1 is less than, V2 is less than, V3. This type of graph are called isochores. Same way, whatever the methods we have followed for Charles' law, same methods we can follow for Gay-Lussac's law also. Even we can write this one also, but not that much useful. Let V0 is equal to T. V0 is the volume of gas at 0 degree centigrade. V1 is the volume of the gas at 1 degree centigrade. Like that, like this we can find for Gay-Lussac's law also. P0 is the pressure at 0 degree centigrade. P1 is the pressure at 1 degree centigrade. For every 1 degree C rise in temperature, pressure is increased by 1 by 273 of its initial pressure. Like that also we can tell. But these are all not required because while we are doing the problems, the formula which is useful, that is P1 by T1 is equal to P2 by T2. Okay, this is the completion of Gay-Lussac's law. I hope you are clear, everything. Any sort of doubts, I told already, you can ask me anytime. I will clarify. I am ready to clarify your doubts. This is about first one, Boyle's law we have seen. Second one, Charles' law. Third one, Gay-Lussac's law. And next we have Avogadro's law. That Avogadro's law we will see in next class. Till this, I hope you are clear. Along with that, parallelly, you can do the problems related to these laws. Okay, then you will get some perfection in that one. Okay, thank you, have a nice day.